A 50,000-pound jet. A deck the size of 4 football fields. No radio, no verbal commands, just hands. That is exactly how the U.S. Navy launches fighter jets off the most powerful warships ever built. Every single day, in the middle of the ocean, thousands of sailors move, position, arm, and fire aircraft into the sky using nothing but their hands and their colors. No mistakes allowed. No do-overs. One wrong signal and the consequences are fatal. This is not just coordination. This is the most disciplined visual language on the planet. What you're about to see is the full picture, from the moment a pilot straps in to the second that Catapult fires. The hand signals, the colors, the people, the sequence, and the shocking speed at which it all happens. Most people watch carrier footage and see chaos. By the end of this video, you'll watch that same footage and understand every single move on that deck. And once you know this, you'll never look at a carrier launched the same way again. The world's most dangerous workplace. The flight deck of a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier is officially one of the most dangerous workplaces in the entire United States military. Not the most dangerous in the Navy, not the most dangerous at sea, the most dangerous in the entire U.S. military. Jets running at full power, just feet away from crew members. Ocean wind howling across the deck, the ship constantly moving beneath everyone's feet, and the noise so extreme that radio communication becomes unreliable and dangerous. That last point is the key to everything. If you cannot use your radio, and you cannot shout over the roar of jet engines, then the only thing left is your hands. That is why the U.S. Navy developed a complete visual language for the flight deck. Every gesture has a specific, locked-in meaning. Every crew member knows every signal by heart before they ever step onto that deck. And every pilot knows them too. There is no guessing. There is no improvising. Because as one Navy fighter pilot put it directly, if a pilot invents a move on the fly, it may be misunderstood, leading to a potentially devastating outcome. This system is governed by the NATOP's manual, Naval Air Training and Operating Procedures Standardization, specifically the Aircraft Signals Manual Nav Air 00-80T-113. It contains 24 standardized aircraft handling signals used in routine flight deck operations. Compliance is mandatory. But before a single hand signal is thrown on that deck, you need to know who is throwing it. And that is where the colors come in. The Rainbow of the Sea. The U.S. Navy calls it the Rainbow of the Sea. 7 colors, each representing a completely different role on the flight deck. Once you know the colors, the whole deck makes sense. Yellow is the most important color to know. Yellow shirts are the aircraft directors in full command of every aircraft movement on deck. Nothing moves without a yellow shirt. Not 1 inch. They are also the ones who perform that iconic final gesture before launch, getting down on one knee, touching the deck, and pointing forward. That single signal means one thing: you are clear to fly. Green covers the catapult and arresting gear teams, the sailors who operate the equipment that physically launches the aircraft. They are also the hook runners who position the arresting wires for recovery. Red means ordnance. Red shirts handle all weapons loading. When a combat-loaded aircraft hooks up to the catapult, it is the red shirt who steps forward, raises both arms with one fist beneath the other palm, and signals the pilot, hands up. Both hands must be visible. Nobody touches controls during weapons arming. Blue covers the plane handlers, elevator operators, and tractor drivers, the sailors physically moving and repositioning aircraft around the deck. Brown is worn by air wing plane captains, responsible for the overall safety and condition of each aircraft before it reaches the catapult. White is safety and medical. White shirts are the quality control inspectors and medical crew monitoring every operation. And purple, known fleet-wide as the Grapes, or Fuelies, handle all refueling operations across the flight deck. Now here's a question: Which color would you want to wear if you were out on that deck? Drop your answer in the comments below. Pre-flight 45 minutes before launch. Roughly 45 minutes before a scheduled launch, pilots walk their aircraft, a full external check of every surface, every control, every weapon. At 30 minutes out, engines start. At 15 minutes out, cleared aircraft begin taxiing toward the catapults. When a pilot finishes startup and is ready to fly, the first signal happens. A thumbs up to his brown shirt plane captain. That thumbs up means one thing: I am ready. Then both of them wait for a yellow shirt to arrive and take over. This is the standing rule on every U.S. carrier: an aircraft never moves unless it is under yellow shirt control. Ever. When the yellow shirt arrives, the aircraft goes through what is called a breakdown. The director uses sweeping arm motions to signal the crew to remove the chocks and chains, the blocks and tie-downs holding the jet in place. Once removed, the aircraft is held only by its brakes. It is now live. Before we go further, if you're finding this as fascinating as we do, take a second to like this video and subscribe. Hit that button and let's keep going. Taxiing the deck. Taxiing a fighter jet on a carrier deck is nothing like a civilian airport. The deck is shorter, tighter, constantly moving, and packed with aircraft and crew. Yellow shirts lead every taxi movement. Arms waving forward means move ahead. One arm bent means turn. Every turn is made at idle power, not because the thrust isn't there, but because a jet above idle can sweep lethal force into crew members and blow them off the deck into the ocean. This is not theoretical. It has happened. There is also one strict rule that most people never know: yellow shirts do not move while taxiing an aircraft. If the director is walking forward while signaling the jet to move, a pilot, especially at night, may believe the aircraft is already rolling when it is not. That confusion on a dark pitching deck is exactly how disasters happen. As the aircraft reaches one yellow shirt's zone, that director passes control forward, pointing to the next yellow shirt ahead. The jet follows the point and picks up the next director. This relay runs all the way to the catapult, controlled from inside the ship by the aircraft handler, who moves scale model jets on a physical layout of the flight deck to track every aircraft's position in real time. Here is the scale of what this looks like during a full launch cycle. 4 catapults running simultaneously, 4 aircraft moving at once, dozens of crew members in multiple colors working within feet of jet exhaust and spinning turbines. The flight deck crew can launch 2 aircraft and recover 1 every 37 seconds in daylight. 1 per minute at night. Catapult hookup and the final sequence. The holdback bar is connected, a fitting from the rear of the nose gear to the deck. This bar holds the aircraft completely stationary, even at full engine power. It is designed to snap at a precise load, and it will only snap when the catapult fires with enough force to exceed it. On a Nimitz-class carrier, that catapult thrusts a 48,000-pound aircraft 300 feet from 0 to 165 miles per hour in 2 seconds. But that catapult still waits for a hand signal to know when to fire. Now here is one worth thinking about. Do you think it takes more nerve to be the pilot in that cockpit, or the crew member standing on deck just feet away when that thing fires? Drop your answer below. The launch. The aircraft is hooked up, holdback connected, catapult loaded. If the aircraft is carrying weapons, the red shirt steps up first. Both arms extended, one fist under the other palm, hands up. The pilot raises both hands into full view. Nobody touches a control while weapons are armed. Safety pins are pulled, handed off, and when arming is complete, clearance is given. The final checkers then conduct one last exterior inspection. Every surface, every fitting, every control. When satisfied, they give a thumbs up to the catapult officer. The catapult officer, the shooter, takes command. He is a commissioned officer responsible for every aspect of this launch. He checks wind speed and direction, steam pressure or electromagnetic settings, and weight category for the specific aircraft. Too little energy and the jet does not reach flying speed. Too much and the airframe takes structural damage. The pilot is signaled to advance to full power. Engines spool up to maximum thrust. The pilot then runs the wipe out, moving every flight control surface through its complete range. Rudder full left, full right. Elevators full forward, full back. Every surface confirmed moving freely. When the pilot is satisfied, he gives the shooter a salute. That salute means one thing: I am ready. Launch me. The shooter scans the deck one final time, checks his settings, and then kneels down, touches the flight deck with one hand, and points forward. Touch the deck. Point forward. Go. The catapult fires. The holdback snaps. 0 to 165 miles per hour. 2 seconds. Gone. Why this system is extraordinary. What makes the hand signal system remarkable is not just that it works, it is that it works at scale, under extreme conditions, day after day, with almost no margin for error. A full Nimitz-class carrier has roughly 5,500 crew members. During active flight operations, dozens of sailors in multiple colors are working simultaneously, all operating from the same visual language. Same signals. Same meanings. Same rules. There is one communication principle built into the system that most people never notice. Signals above the waist go to the pilot. Signals below the waist go to the deck crew. That one rule ensures the pilot always knows when a signal is meant for him. Clean, unambiguous, and effective even at noise levels where shouting is completely useless. The newer Gerald R. Ford-class carriers added emails, the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, which replaced steam pistons with a linear induction motor, delivering about 122 megajoules of launch energy per shot. The Ford class can generate 25% more launches per day than a Nimitz carrier. But the hand signals on deck did not change. Emails changed the machine under the deck. The human language above it remains exactly what it has always been. One last question. Do you think emails was the right move forward, or should the Navy have kept the proven steam catapults? We'd genuinely like to know what you think. The people behind the signals. Every signal in this system has been tested and refined across decades of carrier aviation. Nothing is accidental. Nothing is casual. The men and women who work this deck train extensively before they ever stand next to a live aircraft. The 24 NATOP's standard signals are practiced until they are instinct, not something you think about, but something your hands do automatically. Night operations add another layer entirely. Lighting wands replace bare hands in certain signals. The margin for error shrinks further in darkness and in rough sea states. This is American military professionalism at its most precise. No country on Earth runs more carrier flight operations. No country has a more battle-tested system for doing it. These sailors work in storms, in combat zones, in the dead of night, and they do it with the kind of quiet professionalism that the world rarely sees or appreciates enough. Conclusion. The next time you watch carrier launch footage, watch the hands. Watch the colors. Watch the yellow shirt guide that jet to the catapult. Watch the red shirt arm the weapons. Watch the pilot run his wipe out at full power. And then watch the shooter kneel, touch the deck, and point forward. 2 seconds. 165 miles per hour. One perfectly executed launch. That is the language of the flight deck. That is what these sailors do every day in the middle of the ocean. If this video gave you a new appreciation for what these crews do, hit the like button and subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, just like that catapult shot.